Hello, everyone. This is your new moon reading for September 2021. So we have a new moon coming up. Actually, in the Northern Hemisphere, it's tomorrow, September 6th. And if depending upon where you are in the world, it could be September 7th. So anyways, this is the new moon reading, and I'm going to get right into it. Today, we're actually using only one deck of cards. Usually I kind of pull from a few decks, but basically this is one deck today. My guides have told me. And we're going to be using the Moonology Oracle cards by Yasmin Boland. So let's get right to it. As per usual, I do not look at the cards until I present it to you guys. And then I basically just will read through the guidebook and I will interpret if need be. So the first card that we have is, look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. Now, keep in mind that, like I was saying before, that some of the cards might actually be different types of cards instead of actually being the new moon or the full moon. And it's usually the message that's clear. And so we're going to go into this. The full moon in Sagittarius. I should actually, kind of look at this ahead of time, just because this particular book has everything pretty much at the front, and then you have to look at it in the contents section. So let's just go into here. And I noticed that too. Right now we're in a particular set of aspects where the planetary motions are very prominent when it comes to using your intuition. Just prior to it, you might feel tired. I know I have. And for the actual exact new moon, it would be more in the newness, like a flip into a new cycle, something where you might actually feel higher creativity, something where you could write down that which you wish to let go of and that which you wish to bring into your life. And it's something that when you write it down, and I mean handwrite is its best, or even placing into a board that has pictures of things that you like and things that you wish to manifest in your life. When you do it in such a way that it is visual and it uses all of your senses, then what you're doing to say to the universe is basically, this is what I want, and this is what I'm hoping that you can help me get. And it does actually amplify that frequency when you are putting into the written journal or written piece of paper your energy, the energy that comes directly from you. So it's a very powerful thing to do when you're writing what it is that you want to manifest for the next cycle, and what it is that you want to let go of, so that you can kind of see the newness and the clean slate of moving forward into this new cycle. So the first card we're going to look at is the full moon in Sagittarius. Look at the bigger picture. Are you thinking too much about the details of your dilemma? Fretting over minutiae can be counterproductive. Or perhaps you're being all talk and no action. This card is a reminder that while it's good to think things through, sometimes you need to step back and look at the bigger picture. What do you then see about your current situation? What's the most positive thought you can have about it? Now is the time to count your blessings, even if you don't have exactly what you want. This card is also a reminder that we often have to take a few risks and go with uncertainty on this journey called life. Try to keep an open mind about what's for the best. The universe could surprise you. Attuned to the moon, take time for a mini break or adventure. Kind of a great way to say, all right, you know what? I'm not going to do anything huge right now in action. I'm just going to take a break and actually contemplate what it is that I want. Additional meanings for this card that could attune to others or resonate with other people. This situation may have come around because you've been distracted. Be confident without being overconfident to win the day. Have you shown that you care? If not, now is the time. Find a balance between speaking your mind and saying too much. So here's the teaching moment. The full moon in Sagittarius is a time when we are reminded that life is an adventure and there's a big, wide world to see beyond our backyard. It's about having fun and being prepared to sail into uncharted territory. It's about big ideas versus the details. No matter when you draw this card, it encourages you to look at the bigger picture. Now, I believe when you're looking at the bigger picture, this is saying step back and take a look at your life as compared, and try not to look at the life within the global arena at this time. It's just basically looking at your life and how would you like to change it so that it's more favorable as you're going forward. At the same time, this is also saying look at the very big picture, not the minute details. The step by step action happens as you go through the next few weeks going into the full moon. At this time, it's saying look back, just or take a step back from your normal routine and see how you can change it so that it's more favorable for what you would like to see. And that means organizing, downsizing, and letting go of certain items that you haven't used for a long period of time. That's the material part of things. That could also go with relationships as well. And I know this is an undercurrent. This is basically something that has been going on for, well, at least a good half a year to a year, that we're letting go of relationships that are draining us and bringing us down, or letting go of items and things that are no longer in use, no longer resonating with where we are today. So this is saying, watch that creative side of yourself. Look at your intuition and basically, or use your intuition, basically look at what is it that you really want to see in your life. Do you want to see a different career? Do you want to see more creativity, more color in your life, changing even just your environment and painting, say, for example? Do you want to look at some how-to books? Actually, how-to books, do-it-yourself books. Do you want to do some of these things on your own? Do you feel that you may have to do some of these things on your own? Being prepared for whatever that could be coming, now pulling in a little bit of that global arena and just kind of saying, okay, you know what, maybe I should be prepared for anything to come. So it's a very good time to actually take a look at what you have gone through without actually dealing with the emotional hassle of some of the things that you might have gone through in your life, whether it's your career, your relationships, your circumstances materially or anything financially, say for example, and just kind of stop and say, all right, how do I want to change this? Maybe you have to create a budget to tackle the financial. Just a little bit different. You're tweaking things so that as you go forward, it's a little bit easier, more beneficial, and could lead to something very beautiful within your life. Okay, let's go on here. So the next is hold your vision, fixed moon. I think this is pretty neat. The fixed moon is kind of stationary. It looks as though it's like a half moon. So hold your vision. This is basically also saying, don't give up. Don't give up on what it is that you have as hopes for the future, things that you want in your life, things that you would like to see. And maybe you don't know. Maybe because of everything that has gone on and that the newness that is coming in, you have no choice but to embrace, because there's so many things happening right now to change everything within your life. It's saying, don't lose hope on those things that you have really wanted in your life, because the essence of those things can still definitely be within your life as you move forward, just in maybe a different form. Okay, so we're going to look at hold your vision for the fixed moon and see where we're at here. So we're looking at, there are two main possibilities with this card. The first is that you need to stand firm in whatever situation you're in. The second, very different interpretation, is that something is stuck. That could well be referring to the situation you're asking about. If that's the case, have a think about what you can do to grease the wheel so that events move forward. Are you being stubborn? If so, that's great, because if you really want things to change, there's a solution. Stop digging your heels in. Be the one to break a deadlock. With two interpretations for this card, it's up to you to decide what's going on and which meaning applies to you. This offers up a chance for some self reflection. So, like I said, if you're looking back at what your life is, try not to get caught up in the emotions of it, but for sure, self reflect upon what has happened and what you need to change in order to move forward. Attuned to the moon? Yes. Just say the word a lot and see how it feels. So, additional meanings that may resonate with some of you: staying power, faith, or patience are needed. Someone needs to back down, avoid stagnation. A personal or professional relationship will be enduring. So, the teaching of this card: in astrology, there are three quadruplicities: cardinal, fixed, and mutable. The fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. The fixed signs can be stubborn. So anything that's just starting as you draw this card may well last longer. Remember, we each have all the star signs in our chart. It's just the way the astrological wheel works. So there's no judgment when we say that while it's admirable how much staying power the fixed signs have, they can also be obstinate. I'm an Aquarius, so this is kind of funny for me too. Yes, I can be stubborn. So, and I know that all of us have, we could probably say that we relate very much with certain signs in the zodiac, especially with some of the characteristics that come with them. But in this case, it's saying hold your vision. I find that this is interesting too, just because things moving forward, it doesn't seem like a lot of things are moving forward, but things are really heating up. And I mean, we see this in the global arena because what we feel inside is what we're going to see on the outside as well, and vice versa. So things are really heating up at this time, and it's heating up within ourselves too. And those who are stubborn sometimes can actually heat up to a point of explosion, like anger. And yes, I can relate. I don't know if everybody can kind of look at the same thing, but yeah, I definitely can relate to that. But what this is saying is make sure to look at that part of you that might be super stubborn, and try to see the other's point of view, so another person's point of view, or try to see a little bit into it and analytically, so that it's not, whatever circumstance you find yourself in is not going to bring you to a point that you just only see it one way. It's like sometimes we have our blinders on and we don't really see anything else until somebody brings something to us, and then we're really angry because it's actually tying into butting heads of our belief systems, right? So this is basically saying hold your vision, keep it in a straight manner, but at the same time keep your options open, and remember to be a little bit more flexible in your thinking. Okay. So the next card we have is the answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. So here we go. I'm still trying to figure out this camera, which is opposite. Yeah, the answers are coming. This is a really interesting card. And it's not just about the fact that when you see a lot of what is going on, there are a lot of people that are losing their jobs. There are a lot of people that are being put in a position where they have to make a decision, and sometimes a very split second decision. Sometimes they are finding themselves in a position where they don't want to do what is being asked of them, or you're finding that somewhere around you there may be something that really pushes your belief systems a lot, and that kind of relates to the card prior to as well. Before I read the card, I just want to say that there's a lot of newness, and when we look at the answers for what it is that we want in our lives, or basically answers to questions that we have, in some cases, a lot of cases, we just need to take our time. Like in the first card, it basically talked about having to take some, downtime a little bit, but at the same time, recognize that there's a change coming, and we are all being affected by the changes that are here. A full moon in Gemini having the two sides to the story, we have we have we definitely have two sides to the story in everything that we do and everything that we see, history wise, as well as in our lives. And you want to also just be open to what is there, what is out there, what is coming to you in answers. Because the answers may not be what you think will be the optimal answer, if that makes any sense. You're going to get answers to some of the questions that you have, whether it is relation to, okay, so what do I do now? If I don't have a job, the job that I've been in for 20 years, what do I do now? Or financially, oh my God, I don't have a job. How am I going to feed my kids? Like I've got 4 kids or whatever. I'm just, making that part up because I don't have any children. I mean, what do you do, right? The answers will be coming because the universe does not leave you hanging. The universe always has your back. If something is let go, then something new will come in. And that newness this is why this new moon is just in such a beautiful space, is that you are in a particular magical point that you can create that. You can say, look, I need this. I need this, 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 and this. And you can just write a list if you want. And basically say, universe, I need this taken care of. I am really at a standpoint at this point, a fixed standpoint. I have no idea what to do next. Well, the answers are coming, and they may be different answers than you normally would have expected. Just keeping that in mind. So we're looking at the full moon in Gemini, and that is right here. This card is a reminder that it's important to speak your truth, but remember that your words have consequences and impact your listener. Right now, you need to guard against indiscretion. The answers you need may well come soon. The issue you're facing could well be one or a few conversations away from being resolved. If you're inquiring about a love situation, a little flirting may be called for. If you're in the middle of an argument, this card comes to you as a reminder of the old, very non-Gemini message, least said, soonest mended. It's good to talk about, it's good to talk, but be careful you aren't causing yourself any issues with your words. Words have enormous power. As metaphysician Florence Scovel Shinn, who lived between 1871 to 1940, put it, your word is your wand. You create magic and your own reality every time you express yourself. Attuned to the moon, have an important conversation, but stay calm. Additional meanings for this card could include don't be superficial. Someone is trying to flirt with you. Have you noticed? You need to laugh off this situation and just move on. Job applications have good prospects. So the message of this card is this: talk, and more talk as the emotional full moon moves into the communicative sign of Gemini. It's too easy to say too much, so mind how you go if you pull this card. This card can also indicate an enjoyable social event, since the full moon in Gemini is a great time for socializing. This card also augurs well for any study you're either taking or considering. So the whole reading so far is very in-depth, very deep, isn't it? And I think what this is also talking about is that Yes, our words are very, very powerful. In fact, our words and thoughts, people don't think about this, but the words and thoughts that we have and carry are extremely powerful because the energy is there behind them. We don't see the energy of thought, but it's there. I mean, we have it. Where does it go? Well, it's not just stuck in our head. You have something that basically goes out into the universe. And sometimes that kind of thing actually can cause a lot of butting heads or issues in our lives. So they're saying be mindful of what words you say, be mindful of how you talk with others, and especially right now. Right now it's a very awkward, volatile time period. And we're at a particular point in life where all around us in the global arena, we see people basically being very rude to other people, or it's sometimes insultive. So we're seeing the two halves of it. The those who are positive, they thinking about the positive sides of things and saying as much, and those who are naysayers and are those who are looking at the glass half empty rather than glass half full. And we both have two different ways of looking at it. Does it mean that it's not the same thing? Maybe, like, looking at it at a particular level of reality to say that, well, maybe we both have a point here, coming to a common ground, say, for example. And hopefully we're going to see that actually in the global arena. The more we're able to do that within our own lives, and the more that we're able to recognize this, that you're here to see both sides of the story and just basically try to be impartial if you can, then the more we're going to see that neutrality in the global arena. For example, I know I've been seeing on social media here and there that there's a certain way that people are going about protesting, and that is actually by silence. I believe I had seen that in Australia, and there's a few other places that are actually adopting this. But basically, in order to protest against what's happening right now, they're doing this in silence. I think that's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. And it pretty much covers this card to a T. Watch what you say. So if you have nothing to say about this, you probably have a lot to say about this, they're probably thinking it, then do it in silence so that it doesn't provoke anything as per se, right? We're going to see a lot of provocation. It's a guarantee that with everything that is going on right now and people who are being put in very awkward positions, that we're going to see a lot of provocation towards whether it could be a volatile situation or just one of a heated argument. So in this case, silence may be best. The last card we have with regards to our new moon is confidence is your key to success. And now we've got the new moon in Leo, even though the new moon is in Virgo. This is pretty close. It was the new moon in Leo prior to, but new moon in Virgo at this time. So we're going to look at confidence is your key to success. Be confident in yourself. Basically, the confidence is from within. In fact, it's funny because that seems to be a recurring theme in my household at this time. Just basically giving confidence or mentioning it to my mother, who's had an illness for a little bit. Basically, her confidence in herself is a little waning, and I get it. I understand it. So I keep saying, have confidence in yourself, have confidence in your legs to let you stand. Being that strength that comes from Leo and the lion. So we're going to look at new moon in Leo to see what it has to say about confidence. And I believe that we can all adopt this. So this card heralds the start of a new cycle for you, and it definitely does at this time, when you're going to look and feel more gorgeous, more in the spotlight, more like you have something worth showing off. If you want someone's attention, this card says it's coming. However, this may not happen all by itself. You have to be willing to do your bit. That means being proud of who you are and what you have to offer. Think of yourself as the king or queen of the jungle and carry yourself accordingly. This card is also a great omen if you're asking about a creative project you're working on. Alternatively, it can herald good news or a new start for your children, which could be very much so at this time. Attuned to the moon, make time to have fun. Additional meanings for this card: it's time for you to show the world what you've got. Shine your light, have some pride, spoil yourself, you've earned it, and you've turned someone's head. So here's the message. And I believe not only does it go for this particular card, but I believe it pretty much follows through with this particular new moon in Virgo. Leo is a sign of the big and brave-hearted lion, of pride and showmanship and flirting. The energy around the new moon in Leo, and therefore around this card whenever you pick it, is hot and generous. The energy loves itself, and so should you. If you've been too much of a wallflower, this new moon card and the Leo new moon comes as a reminder that you need to be proud of who you are. Wow. So beautiful in that, yes, we definitely need to be proud of who we are. And it's really hard to see right now. So I'm going to say with a huge message from the universe is be proud of who you are. Everybody around you is there for a reason. In other words, those that are remaining around you with the relationship coming and going at this time, those who remain around you and who come into your life are there for a reason now. New resources, new community, a new group of individuals that, or an old group that becomes actually a new type of relationship that becomes your niche, your community, your support group. And they will love you for who you are. That is what is happening right now. We are now resonating with particular people's vibrations. In other words, when I say like-minded individuals, it's the vibration, the energetic vibration, the people that are around you that are also being heralded and brought into your vibration. And it's something very important because they love you for who you are. So why not yourself? Love yourself for who you are at this time. No matter what you look like, no matter who you are, no matter what race you come from, no matter what ethnic background you're from, just love yourself. This is an important time. And you can see through this card reading that we're going to see some bumps for sure. But they're asking you, the universe is asking you with this particular new moon, what do you hope to see? Do you hope? Do you still have hope? And if you do, keep going with things. Keep having faith that you're going to see something come about, and it will. When we say we create our reality, this goes very much with the vibration. And I talk about vibration a lot when I speak with other people or if I do any energy healings or card readings for other people. Energetic vibration is the key in the universe. We are all energy. We're all made up of energy, and everything around us is made up of energy. Energy is running at a particular vibration. It's a frequency, and there's many different frequencies around the universe, the entire planetary structure, the people, the items and organic structures you see out there, or organic beings. There's so much in the way of vibration. And when you align yourself with a particular vibrational frequency, your energy resonates with that frequency. It could be very high, and that is when we feel very elated, very good, very joyful. Or it could be very low, and that is when we feel very like shameful, guilt, sadness, depression, anger as well to a point. Is it's also a very volatile vibration. That's where if you resonate in that spot, and there's a lot of people that would be called fear. There are a lot of people that are actually resonating at that vibration. You're going to see it in the world. This is because the energy goes outward. It goes outward into our environment. And just imagine how many people are creating that particular vibration that goes out into their community or their environment. The more of those people that do that, the more the environment or the holistic environment is going to become that vibration. Oh, I hope that makes sense to everybody. Right now, we have the potential to create a vibrational intensity that will align with hope, love, joyfulness, compassion, anything that can raise that vibration to a very light frequency, a very high frequency. So that's what this is actually asking you to do. Little by little, step by step, what you want to do in the near future, because the very first card is look at the bigger picture. You start with yourself. You begin in a holistic version with yourself to raise that frequency. Be creative. Think love within yourself and love on the outskirts. And that actually goes right in line with confidence, and confidence being your successful nature. Take that within, and now say it to other people. That's that voice that we're talking about. The answers in need are coming. Be very careful of how you want to talk to other people. And if you are in a positive sense, not to say that you're always going to be in a positive sense, it's understandable. But at the same time, what this is saying is whatever you decide to say, try to make it in such a way that you're uplifting someone else, not putting them down, not insulting them. Try to keep them in a higher view, because they're there doing the best that they can, just as you are. And in the case of holding your vision a fixed moon, trying to be a little more flexible in your thinking so that you're able to let that that wonderful vibrational energy come out from your voice to someone else, telling your truth. The truth, though, also has to come from within first. The truth cannot be a truth unless you yourself absolutely believe it. So that is basically what we're working towards at this time. So I encourage you with this new moon to believe in yourself, or at least work on believing in yourself and raising that confidence of who you are, so that you can give that words of praise to others and raise their confidence level as well. I think we need a lot of that. That is right in line with compassion and love at this time. So little by little, and you will notice the amazingness of the way you feel and the way you'll make someone else feel and the way the environment will feel. So in this new moon and the new cycle that is about to begin, chomp on that for a bit. I hope it's a wonderful new moon, and I will see you in the next weekly reading. So like this video if you do like it, and please subscribe to my channel. I much, much appreciate it. You have no idea how much I love doing these videos. Okay, take care and bye.